Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today, on the Grimoire with Me, It's All About Me series, we're going to make a pendulum and a bookmark. Not only this lovely pendulum will function as a divination tool, but a bookmark in your Grimoire, whichever page you are currently working on. This spread will include not only the pendulum, but a pendulum board, how to program your pendulum, as well as the many uses and functionalities of your pendulum divination tool. Join me today as we have fun in our Grimoire. So starting off, we're going to go through our Grimoire to find a blank page. Our Grimoire has quite grown over this past few months. I have thoroughly enjoyed the journey with you. We have a few pages to go through and a few more that I have to post still yet to come. Now I have from the previous page a bit of washi tape, so I'm going to just go over that with some solid white to hide at that. And then after I let that dry, we're going to rock in a bit of a background, shall we? So the PDF downloads I have for this is the examples on how to use, how to program, the many uses, programming your pendulum, actually how to do that. All about your pendulum, a little bit of background. As well as I provided a PDF download for a pendulum board. Now these are some of the clip art that I've drawn that I could include. We're going to use these for the corners. This is, you could use for whatever you like, some tags, some buttons, little bits here. This is what the pendulum's going to look like when we make it. I drew some divination hands with some pendulum. We're going to cut out this overhead pendulum here and add that to the Grimoire as well. So now that I've printed those corners out, I've actually increased the size by about 30%. I'm going to lay those down in the corners of the page. You can use any type of white glue or clear glue. I'm using some Mod Podge. I'm using some Mod Podge because some of my pages are quite wrinkled from the pages and the painting underneath. So I need a little bit more extra sticky, tacky, graspy for the corners. And I'm using matte Mod Podge. So I don't want to have a clear gloss finish to paint over top of it if I get any extra. Grabbing in my liner pen. This is a number 8 liner pen. And I'm going to draw 3 lines straight down between each line of each corner, corner to corner to corner to corner is what I'm trying to say. So I thought if you print out these corners, no matter what size your Grimoire book, then you can just draw these lines yourself and you can make it fit to your page. That way we'd have the same page if you'd like. Some of you have messaged me that you would like to do things in the same order that I'm doing my book in. So what I'm going to be doing is the numerology one will be after the divination one. Ooh. Because we did the palmistry. Then we have this one. And then, oh gosh, we have so many more to do. I have so many more ideas. But I have the divination page, palmistry page. I'm going to do the numerology kind of in a set. And then for the zodiacs, I have Chinese astrology, Western zodiac, and then I have the Celtic Ogham tree zodiac. I'm going to put one right after each other. I'm going to just soak the paper here. Now that I did use a good artist outliner pen, so it's not going to smudge as I rock over the water. Giving the page a good soaking down. It's going to wrinkle your page depending on your drawing page, but these things happen. You'll get cool techniques that'll come out of it. It'll be more authentic that way. When you're not trying so hard to make it perfect, the pages actually turn out pretty cool when you least expect it. I'm going to feel this is more of a lavender versus cream color scheme is what I'm going to be laying down with this one today. I'm struggling with the purple. I don't have very much of it left in my palette, so it's going on pretty thin. So I wound up bringing in some acrylic lavender paint, some craft paint, and I thinned it out with water quite a bit into almost a watercolor base. Because what I had left on my watercolor palette was not enough. I am out of purple. And now a nice golden yellow. Going over some of the purple is going to create some beautiful colors. Gives it kind of an old paper vintage look. Ooh, I'm excited how this is turning out. Now where I did my connection points, I'm bringing in a darker purple. Again, still sticking with watercolor here. What little purple I have left, I'm still using it. I've had this paint set for like 20 years. It's been amazing. We've had a lot of good journeys together. But this channel has used up a lot of my crafts. I have like 90% of I'd say 20% of what I use on Pagan Crafting, I buy. No, let's say 15%, yeah. Because everything else I source or already have, and I'm just using it up, or I recycle, upsell, recycle, reuse, get it from nature, yeah. Now this one I have a spritz of, this is tea Earl Grey, I think that it was in here, and I have some brown acrylic paint. But I have a lot of tea, and I got this idea from Daisy's Art Magic. She sprays her paper with tea spray. She condenses and her tea bags down, and she sprays all her paper with that. So I'm just shout out to her. I love the idea. So I've been using that in a lot of my grimoires. Bringing back in some purple and some browns of some splatters. It's gonna look so good. Now I have my little cutouts of some of the things I've done here. I have the little pendulum, the little gems that I've drawn. Ooh, I have the pendulum board, and I have the pendulum header I cut out at the top too. Bringing in some purples and some of that golden yellow again, just to match it up. Oh, and I printed out everything on cardstock paper as well. Because if I print it out on just regular printed paper, it's just going to shrivel up like a little scroll. We don't want that to happen. This paper, it's all curling up right now, but it will relax. Even if I press the center of it with my finger, it'll relax. Now these are some little pendulums we get to use and add that for a little bit of interest on your paper. And the hands, again, you paint them all yellow. Do a really, really, really wash. So super washed, very thin. And then you're gonna just drop in the purple over top of the yellow. Just let it happen. Whatever happens, happens. Ooh, more splatters of purple coming in. That needs to happen. Yeah, look at that. Because all the purple, the first layer of purple, it didn't take as well. It was very, very light, and then the yellow was gorgeous over top. So the purple splatters. And you can see the pendulum board is starting to relax now. And it's going to be easier to be able to paint that on or glue that on. Now, this is my inspiration for the pendulum. This is, I have a little charm, then a bead, then the chain, then 3 beads, then a charm, then a bead again, and then I have the pendulum itself. So that is what we're going to use here. That's my little configuration I like when I make my pendulum. So here's some amethyst pieces. So picking out a good chunk here. All right, I found a good piece. Now they're already drilled out and ready and have a hoop to add the ring on. And I'm going to use my setup here to help me figure out how long I need to make the pendulum, because the other one is already sized out. Just grabbing out some extra rings. I have some large rings and some small rings, and then I have some extra large rings that I'm going to be using in the loop near the amethyst stone or the amethyst crystal. And I have some small little clear glass crystal. They're like little quartz, but look at these as amethyst beads. It cost me like 20 bucks for a strand, but it was like so worth it. They are so gorgeous. So gorgeous. And then I have a dark purple glass bead with a clear glass bead, and it looks like a Brazilian amethyst. I'm so well chuffed with it. I'm going to use these 2 charms. One is a pentacle and one is a love with the figure 8. I was kind of playing around with an idea, but I really had to go back to the original idea. I need the figure 8 with the love on it on the left hand side to be inside the book as a bookmark, because it lays flat. That way the beads and your pendulum will lay outside your book as a bookmark, and you can use that anywhere you'd like. So you can see I'm now making 2 of them because I'm trying to remember how I did this. So I started saving every bit that I did and doubling it up. So I have about 10 charms. I'm going to use 1. I'm going to list the rest. I'm going to make little packages. So I have two of those little charms, one being so small. So let's say I'll list 6 of them. I'm going to make some little kits. So as you can follow along this video on how to make your pendulum, but I will also include in the kit of a drawing and then how to assemble your whole pendulum together. I will put the beads together for you, but I will have everything cut out, measured out, and ready to rock for you. So now I think I wound up going a little bit longer here. I didn't know, I thought the pendulum would be a bit shorter. So the chain, as you can see, is a little too long, but I adjust that later. Now snipping off just the itty bitty end, I use an eye loop for that tiny bead, and that's going to go on the end of the figure 8 with the love word. We're going to make 2 of those, so I'm putting a little eye loop in with a ring and attaching that on. I think a little bit of extra embellishment on the inside. Now the bead is going to be very tiny, so it shouldn't take up too much space inside the book. I'm hoping, but either way, it's going to live there. So I realized I put the bead on the wrong end first. I have to try this again. Alright, I gotta get some more bug-eyed pins. If not, I have to make some. Do I have any? What are these? Yes. Okay, these are little bug-eyed pins, and they have a little loop already at one end and a straight end at the other. That is going to go through your small bead, and that way I'm going to make a loop on my end, as you can see here. And by making that loop, you'll be able to attach the nice bead all the way to the charm and to the chain. Opening up a loop and attaching now the bead to the figure 8 love charm. Oh, it's gonna look so pretty. I love amethyst and purple. It is such a gorgeous color. It's one of my favorite colors to work with. Now grabbing about a 2.5 inch bug pin, attaching the 3 beads on, clipping off the ends just a little bit, and creating a loop at the top with my looping pliers. So that way we're having a cascade of beads from a dark purple to the amethyst bead and then the clear glass bead. In between that, we're going to be putting in the charm, the pentacle, and then we'll attach the dark Brazilian purple amethyst glass bead with the clear glass bead, and then on to the amethyst chakra. Now, I was testing it out, and I want it being too long if I'm doing elbow to table. So I wound up taking off about 1 1/8 inches, and I will have your pendulum accordingly the proper length. You could always make it shorter if you wish and clip off the chain, but I do have them all sorted out and ready to go. After a few test runs, feeling the length, feeling the flow. Look at that, it's already working. Whoa! All right. I just have to make a couple adjustments here so it'll swing nice and steady. Wow, the energy of these already are great. I love working with amethyst. So this is what we have. The love and the knot of eternity with the pentacle, 3 beads, 2 at the bottom with a secondary charm of the pentacle and an amethyst piece at the bottom for your pendulum. It's just a beautiful piece that's going to look so gorgeous in your book of grimoires. Now I will have a few of these packages for you to choose from. All right, now a word from our sponsor, and that sponsor is me. So I have 6 little kits made up for you. If they sell out, I will make more, but 6 for now, so that's all I have available. And if you want to make the same pendulum I just made, I have instructions here. I've drawn out the pendulum that I made, that I just showed you, labeled them what is what, and where to attach the small bead, small ring, attach the small ring here, here, and here, and 1 large ring. Now I've added extra rings in case some get bent out of shape or you drop some, so don't be alarmed that you have some extra ones and you don't know where it goes. I'm all about the extra parts and accessories. So your own personal pendulum amethyst bookmark instructions are here for you. And what I've done, in case you don't have all the tools and all the parts connection, I have the little bitty beads to attach on the ends. Oops, the amethyst, and that already has drilled out, and it has your charm bit here. And then I have the glass purple and clear beads. And then again here I have with the amethyst bead and the purple and clear glass beads. So those are all ready to rock. And then I have your charm, your love charm, the exact length of chain that you need, and extra beads with all, oh, there's the big rings, with the big ring. So I included a bunch of extra small ones with it too, in case you lose any or you're bent any out of shape. So 6 to choose from, or 6 that I have to choose from. And I don't have very many of them, so they won't last too long. But if you wish to make a little pendulum bookmark like I did, I have a little package here for you, and you can check that out on my Etsy store. I have the link in the description down below. Let us get back to our Grimoire book. So what I've done here is, now that I have finished painting the background of the pendulum board, the hands, I have chosen to cut out some of the meanings of all the many uses of the pendulum. I know how to program a pendulum now, so I'm not going to put that in my book, but I love all the different uses of the pendulum. And then some little highlights about the pendulum and what about it. So these are the ones that I'm going to cut out and use in my grimoire. You can make probably a 4-page spread out of what I've provided for you for a PDF download. But this one I've decided to just do a 2-page spread, so I'm going to be keeping it super easy. And I smudge glue like crazy here, so I decided to glue it down somewhere else and hit it again because I didn't want to see that dried glue in the background. Okay, so not really worrying about that glue streak there. I'll just cut that part off. Save that for, there we go, for a background for something else. Who's to say, who's to know? Looks like it's not very straight for my cutting skills. And then I'm going to use this as my header. So using the pendulum as from the PDF downloads, we have the header there. and we're going to bring it down with some Mod Podge because that tends to stick to the wrinkly paper. I find a little bit better for me. Or if you had some rubber cement, I'm sure that'd be old school and that would rock too. Now my little pendulum board. I think this will look cool. Oh, this is starting to peel up. The board, my book does not sit closed anymore. I'm gonna have to bind this up with some serious ribbon or some like rope. Put a lock on it somehow. I don't know. I don't know if it can handle the stress. I'm gonna have to redesign a new cover for this book that I think is gonna handle the stress. Now my little pendulum pieces here, I'm going to place them as such in the corner. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some dots. Kind of looks like a little pendulum chain hanging from the corner. It's going to look so cute. So, I have a correction, and since I've already filmed the video, can't fix it. This was some clip art that I did for our downloadables that we made here and what we used, but I want more hands. And yeah, I can just like print this out a couple times, but I found I had to enlarge my little curlicues, my corner pieces anyway, so I decided I'm not going to use this page. I decided I'm going to add 2 pages instead. So I've enlarged our corners, and we have our, now that we see our pendulum we've designed. And I've added 3 hands here, and I have 4 here, and we have the pendulums, and I've made some bookmarks. So I thought they were kind of neat that you could add some inserts, you can add some more information on your pendulum on the cards. So instead of 1, we have 2 now, and I think I like that. Oh, and that's the other thing I added was the pendulum board. So, because we have the pendulum here, I added the board, and now I want to add pendulum board here along the bottom. So we're going to hit that. So I'm going to quickly paint, cut out the ones that I want. I want to cut out some more hands, and I'm going to cut out the word pendulum board, paint the background to match, put that on some black background again, and yeah, and then we'll start adding. I'm just going to add our little pendulum dots here as well. Now adding in some dot work into the pendulum pieces, using my liner pen that again is a good pretty waterproof, if you've well seen. And there we have it. So something you can hang these little pendulums on anywhere on your page and use them however you'd like. And adding the pendulum board header now, we're putting that one on the bottom on the left hand page, and I've also painted some more little divination hands with the pendulum to add to. I just felt I needed some more. And I needed a little bit more yellow, a little bit more contrast to all the purple. Ooh, I love my wax stamp seal. I always get the pentacle upside down. every time. I should start thinking, I'm like, okay, it's backwards now, and just use it. That's what's supposed to happen. I love this purple wax, so we're gonna drip it all over the page. I wound up doing like 3 pours of this stuff. Another wax stamp seal on the lower right hand corner. After pouring probably 2-3 pours of the purple wax, I bring out some old school washi tape. This has got like birds, and it's got these pretty little bird cages on there. And I feel just using the bird cages. So I'm keeping all the little birds. I'll use them in another project, but I love these little bird cages. It kind of goes with the old vintage look here. I think I've just been wanting to use this washi tape, and I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I got these at a thrift store, a bag of washi tape for like $4. I was like, yes! I've never had washi tape before because I couldn't justify the cost, but I found them at a thrift store, so I had to buy them. So this is one extra piece of the many uses of your pendulum. I couldn't fit it in the book, so I'm just going to use that as an insert. And that'll sit like so. And now the reveal. With lavender and golden sunflower yellow, the pendulum with the pendulum board, the purple wax stamp seal, the divination hands, the vintage look and the tea-stained pages, the many uses of the pendulum, and my unique pendulum divination bookmark. Remember, if you wish to purchase your own amethyst bookmark to match your pendulum page, there'll be 6 of them available in my Etsy store. And have yourself an absolutely magical day.